Jeremy.
Nothing beats the 12, so it is Enzo's choice.
So Kashtira versus Kashtira. Now there's significant advantage if you've built your deck with cards like Enemy Controller, Book of Moon, ways to break apart the Kashtira board.
Yeah, and he's chosen to go second here. We're assuming that we have lots of those cards in play.
Yeah. Now there are certain cards that are not as useful, such as Dimensional Shifter. Normal summon Rise Art, regular Rise Art, not exactly the strongest opening. Typically you want to open with something like a Fenrir or Unicorn. This telegraphs quite a bit about Jeremy's hand.
Is this banished?
Yeah, so Dimension Shifters actually put in a ton of work. You might have watched the last feature match.
Oh, yes, yeah. That was the MVP, for sure. There's no doubt about it.
I wouldn't be shocked if similar things happened to a lot of the other more graveyard-reliant decks over the last couple rounds that knocked them out.
Very powerful. Putting someone under Macrocosmos, we're going to activate the effect of Birth. Birth special summons back the Unicorn, so we have to cycle away to get to the Unicorn. We're still going to be able to put out a Rise Heart, but that's going to be a 3 material one because we're not going to be able to use the Shangri Era here. We have the Theosis added to hand.
Theosis target Unicorn.
Yep. Kashtira Theosis target Unicorn. We're going to summon something that's not Win attribute.
Fortunately, we've got a Earth attribute monster.
One of the best monsters in the game right now, Kashtira Fenrir, being able to further add an additional monster.
I'm so surprised that it took this long for Kashtira Fenrir to become popular as like a more generic card. I thought people would be playing it immediately as soon as it came out in Darkling Blast.
In my region, that was the case.
Did you have that?
I definitely did have that. We always compared Kashtira Fenrir to Pankratops.
Yep. It's a similar type of card, but very different gameplay involved with both.
One feels more like a gadget.
Yeah.
While we do have 3 level 7 monsters, we're locked into Xyz monsters only, but that's fine. The whole deck is more or less made up of Xyz monsters in the extra deck. Going first while not having a full combo. But maybe the cards in hand could save Jeremy. Maybe we can see a couple of set cards that can, keep Enzo at bay.
Yeah, there were a lot of defensive and sometimes offensive spells in these Kashtira decks. Quick play spells. Let's put it that way. There's a lot of quick play spells.
Yeah.
And that can do a number of different things between flipping down your opponent's monsters, protecting yours from spells and traps,
or setting
healing things, switching things to defense. We don't have to.
We're passing turn. No Arise Heart. We're not going to go into Arise Heart. Having more monsters is better. Not only that, leaving the Unicorn.
Yeah, that's
the key play. That's the key play there. That could take away Enzo's Arise Heart.
So you're only allowed to play 1 Arise Heart right now. So if Enzo activates a monster effect, it could be just gone.
Now he opted to go second. So this could be a really, really strong choice. Not going into the Arise Heart. We're going to see Race Slot activated. We're going to add a card into our hand. That's going to be a monster. Fenrir is a pretty decent choice. We need to take out the Unicorn, but we're going to go Unicorn. Now, there is a bit of danger if you try to just special summon Unicorn and go for the attack. The Fenrir is going to do a little bit of work here. There's going to be the Unicorn doing a little bit of work as well.
And then there's that face down card. You might just not get anywhere.
Yep. We're going to special summon out the Unicorn. Is that a Book of Moon? We're going to get the effect off, so it might not be a Book of Moon. We're going to grab Kashtira Birth. That could provide an additional normal summon, or not an additional one, but one that does not cost you tributes for your level 7s.
Now, because it's the Unicorn, let's say Jeremy does use the Unicorn and pull a card out of Enzo's deck. Then Enzo can swing right back and use his Unicorn effect to pull something out of Jeremy's extra deck.
But do you actually go for the Arise Heart, or do you go for something more valuable, like a Zeus? That depends on how many Zeus are in each player's extra deck.
And you do get to look.
We're going to get through the normal summon of the Fenrir. I feel like Jeremy has been in this situation before. He's keeping very calm and not just jumping into activating all of his effects.
Yeah, so he's waiting for the normal summon here to use the Book of Moon. Goes Book of Moon, Kashtira Fenrir flipped face down.
That's not a monster effect, so no one's really going to be starting any sort of monster effect chaining here.
There's not enough cards to use the Birth effect because of the spell card either.
Kashtira Birth, one of the most powerful cards in the deck, activating the card called Pot of Prosperity. Enzo going to reach how many cards? We're going to go for
The full 6.
Six cards. Let's see if Enzo can dig his way out. Going to excavate now. One.
Over on his side. Good.
Fenrir. Ooh, a lance. That could have been a bit more useful earlier. Triple tactics.
Book of Moon.
Jeremy was very careful. None of the monster effects were activated, and if you get a tactics, it's going to telegraph that I'm not going to activate anything.
Go battle.
We're entering battle phase. We're going to attack into the Fenrir.
Fenrir is destroyed. So gone for now, but not for long.
I mean, both players have birth.
Activate it.
Main phase 2, we're going to activate the effect of Rise Heart. Special summon. See?
I'm certainly going to banish Kashtira card from the deck. Banish the top 3 from Jeremy's deck.
This is very interesting. Neither player wants to activate their unicorn in this position because if one goes off, the other one goes off as well. You know, they'll trade blow for blow right here.
Mutually assured banishment.
3 cards.
I mean, when you're at the top 4, you got to be a bit more conservative on your resources. But it depends on who's more comfortable playing without certain cards in their extra deck.
Now, Birth is going to special summon back a Fenrir that was just banished.
Now, what would be the priority here? We have a unicorn that could add additional spell cards. We have a Birth also there. But if Birth lives, we're going to see a lot more monsters being summoned right back onto the field. So are we going to go into the extra deck, perform the XD summon?
Yep.
And just leave everything up.
This almost looks like classic Yu-Gi-Oh! Where we just have big monsters and we're just going to swing at each other. But really, there's so many effects just being held back.
So Fenrir's going to pick up Scareclaw Kashtira.
It's a great follow-up. Both players are being very, very careful. I think Enzo is slowly pulling ahead at this point. Are we going to see a big eye? Or I think we might see a Dark Arm Dragon.
Oh, of Annihilation?
Of Annihilation. If we go for Annihilation, we can take out both the Unicorn and the Birth.
Yep.
And goes for
Dark Arm. We are taking
That's
them out one at a time.
You're good.
On resolution, it's good. No Unicorn. Just letting everything slowly get destroyed. And that's both the materials. The Dark Arm more or less can't really do very much now. Now, the effect of that Dark Arm is very, very strong because it's able to also banish cards out of the graveyard, which is a benefit for Kashtira.
So there's every chance that Jeremy just has another Birth already.
Yep, there's a very good chance.
That's interesting because, okay, so Enzo's Unicorn is off the field now, right?
Yeah.
So that leaves Fenrir.
Cards in there?
And now Jeremy can, if he could just clear the Fenrir out there, he
just
can
no
just do whatever he wants.
Well, that's going to depend on whether or not Enzo has that face down to contest that.
All right, and Enzo's got Scareclaw Kashtira in hand.
Scareclaw Kashtira modifies that battle phase. Everything gets turned off upon attacking any Kashtira monster. And a lot of people get caught off guard. It's all of the Kashtira monsters that gain the ability to just, upon battle, your opponent just loses their effect. And we got a Book of Moon on a Theosis. Ooh. We've lost a Theosis and the monster was put face down. That's going to reset the level of the Rise Heart too.
It does. Now, it's not stuck face down. It can just flip it right back up.
But it will not be able to activate the effect, I believe. We're going to go for a Scareclaw Kashtira.
And no one really wants to use the secondary effect of Birth, I don't think.
No, that's going to be too beneficial for the opponent. Oh, I'm going to take away your Kashtira Theosis. Get a free card.
Activate both.
We've got a
He
birth
does
to
have
birth.
another birth.
That's fine.
We're going to
And
take.
this time he is going to use it.
He's going to take away the Theosis.
This banishes them face down.
That's pretty
So it
good.
won't be able to use the effect.
That is good. That is
Double
right.
birth.
It does go
Yep.
face down. We're not going to get anything here.
The
Fenrir
birth
effect.
is going to pull Fenrir back.
Yep.
Fenrir effect activates.
Of course, these are not runic cards. These are Kashtira cards. Banishing face down really disables the access to those cards. The only way to access it is if your card just targets a banished card while not listing anything else.
I have a normal here, right?
Adds another Rise Heart. It's not normal summoned yet.
This is a very sensitive situation here. The one wrong timing and that Fenrir is going to banish your key component.
Normal.
Okay.
Effect.
Normal summon effect. We're going to go for Unicorn. Unicorn's going to search a spell card.
Fenrir get on the field again?
Yeah, you special summon from birth.
Okay. Making sure you hadn't already.
Gets Kashtira Theosis.
That's already been activated this turn.
Better to have it than not.
You can only use each effect of Theosis once per turn. And due to
Still
the
get the
use-
add back.
He has not used the add back for sure. But the use makes it so that even if you negate the activation, you can't activate another copy.
Correct. So in this case, the resolution just didn't do anything.
We're going to flip summon. Ice Heart is back. 2 level 7s, 1 level 4.
Activate.
You have a second copy.
2 level 7s, 2 level 4s. Going to go ahead and exceed summon here. 2 materials. Ooh, Shangri-Ira. All right.
Effect.
We're going to perform a little bit of zone locking, perhaps. We're going to banish for cost the Kashtira Big Bang.
You already did the top 3, right?
Yeah.
Bash top
Channeling
3 face down.
1, Channeling 2. I'll lock this one.
All right, so that zone's going to get
Phase
locked
out.
up. We get the Big Bang effect being banished. Shangri-Ira locks down a zone, and now the effect of Shangri-Ira has been activated, so a Rise Heart can be summoned with 1 material.
And we're going directly using the Shangri-Ira. That loads it with more material. That's good.
Yeah, so the key here is that you need more attackers. You need enough attackers to do the thing.
We'll have to be very careful here not to accidentally put a card into the graveyard and activating the Rise Heart.
Oh, I did?
Yeah, I looked them in it.
Oh, yeah, you got it. Yeah.
Yeah, they can't use another Theosis. A funny card that could happen.
Now the zone lock should be gone.
Yeah, the zone lock is that's not there.
Shangri-Ira's not on the field anymore.
If we can somehow get ourselves into Big Eye and take the Fenrir, that's going to change the game in a massive swing.
There's plenty of level 7. Well, there's 2 level 7s left because of the Rise Heart effect.
Yep. And Big Eye is going to detach, and that's going to get banished, and that's going to take the Fenrir.
I'll take the Fenrir.
Yeah, we're going to take the Fenrir. Fenrir is the best choice. Therefore, the Fenrir cannot trigger on Enzo's side, and then a Rise Heart is going to activate, taking one of the banished cards as material. And we're going to put back a Theosis, and you can take a face down one as well.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
There we go. Now that Big Eye cannot attack because Big Eye used its effect.
Enter battle.
Okay.
We enter battle phase. We're going to attack
Attack.
into
Activate.
Armageddon. So
Banish
Annihilation.
face down.
Okay.
Rise Heart effect.
It's going to be banish it face down.
Yep.
Activate Rise
It's going
Heart.
to attach. We're going to activate a Rise Heart.
Banish. Yeah.
We're going to banish the face down card. Face down.
Channeling one.
And then a Rise Heart is going to
Two.
activate and attach.
Did I use Theosis already? No.
And we're going to Theosis
Did I use that?
banish
No,
effect.
Theosis.
Yeah, you
for-
only
add
use
back
the
the other.
activation of Theosis. Hasn't used the other effect of Theosis.
Yes, this one's going to add back.
Yeah, he hasn't used it.
What is the Theosis Spanish effect again? To add that. Guys?
Yeah, he hasn't used it.
No. You haven't used it.
So I'll add this back. And,
Now we're still at basically the attack declaration of Extra Fenrir. So we're past the point where you can mirror force it. We've now had a replay since both monsters were on the defending player side of the field are gone.
But if you look at the
Jeremy's
damage,
now at the point where he's deciding whether or not to continue to attack with Fenrir. Once he's finished moving all the cards around.
Yep.
So Fenrir's still going to attack. It's attacking directly this time. And it looks like that's going to be enough.
yeah, Big Bang, I believe, was already activated,
When?
though. Was it not?
Oh, yeah.
oh, yeah.
Big Bang might have already been activated.
Yeah.
You can't detach to get the additional damage. Got to catch on those.
Okay.
I was like wondering, man, I thought I recall Big Bang being used.
Now, was it
Have you
used?
gotten one already in this tournament?
No.
It's just a warning for right now, but if it happens again, it could potentially be upgraded.
Because Big Bang was banished through Rise Heart.
Oh,
Big Bang's
yeah, it
still
was,
on.
wasn't it?
Yes, it
The
was.
Theosis on. Like,
The Theosis is going to add the Big Bang.
I still added back Big Bang from Theosis.
That's, you still added it back?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, and now we're going to see a Zeus be put on board because the next Seas monster did perform battle. Now,
Yep.
Enzo holding on.
3,000 and 24 and 16. It's a lot, it's
Right.
just not game.
Yeah, sure.
This is going to be very scary. With
Actually,
the
it's
Zeus.
more than that because, oh no, he doesn't have the planet. That's not the planet.
There's
That's
no
That's his graveyard. That's Kashtira Birth in the graveyard. His opponent has the planet.
Very, very sensitive situation right here. One wrong move, and that could spell the end for Enzo.
Yep.
But if Jeremy mistimes any of his effects, it could means his whole board is going to fall apart. But with the Zeus available, are we going to be able to force the Zeus so that Jeremy just
You got it.
ends up wiping his own board? Nope. We are going to see Enzo concede. Jeremy takes
not
the
have
game
nothing?
one.
The championship will not be kind to the Kashtira.
Now we go into game two. And Enzo chooses to go second once again.
Yep.
Yeah, I've heard this many, many times. In a Kashtira mirror match, going second has way more benefits, especially if you side in the correct cards. Maybe Jeremy was predicting this. I would assume that he would know that he's probably going to be going first in this particular case. We're going to start off with a Fenrir.
Oh, he's drawn the birth again.
Oh,
So Fenrir gets Unicorn, but he already has Birth, so he's able to normal summon that without Tribute, thanks to Kashtira Birth. And now Unicorn's going to go ahead and get Kashtira Theosis.
Theosis can grab more or less any of the Kashtira monsters at this point. And apparently he already has the Rise Heart. What is the... Well, then at this point, I think you could probably just set it up so that the Rise Heart can immediately just allow for the banish of that Theosis. Maybe you can fetch back a piece of resource right away once you lock down the field into banishing.
So we're going Rise Heart effect, banish Big Bang,
one,
to take 3
two,
cards
I'll
off
lock
of
this
Enzo's deck face down, and make Rise Heart level 7.
Yep.
Shangri-Ira goes ahead and locks off that zone over there.
There could be some crucial cards off the top that we can't see. That could have been very, very useful.
And now we're going Big Bang.
We're going to detach to add to hand, and then we're going to special summon it onto the field. That is going to be the Kashtira Fenrir. We're going to go planet now. Raidsoth adding. Well, that's a lot of.
Playing all the hits in this one.
Yeah, that's I think every single monster available for Jeremy right away. But do you want a ton of monsters right away, or do you want some spells and traps?
Yep, let's go.
And we're going to get rid of the zone lock.
Well, we'll see what else is in his hand.
We have the Theosis now.
You got a scare clock? You got a scare clock?
Yeah. we can put up 2 level 7s, and maybe we can even set up into Utopic Future. Utopic Draco Future, even.
Chain Link 1, Rise Heart, Chain Link 2, Theosis.
We're going to attach the Theosis. Yeah, Theosis.
Picks back up the Big Bang.
I mean, Big Bang, with it in the back, you do feel a lot safer as your opponent's trying to develop the board. You're going to force them to banish down, back down to 1 monster.
Oh, he sees someone's red
I'm pushing you for 600 every time.
Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragons. That's 500 damage every time Enzo
500, yeah.
uses a
500,
card or effect. Every time. It can't be destroyed by card effects either,
Pass turn.
if memory serves.
But if it can't be destroyed by a card effect while it has the
Draw phase.
material, then I think that's not too big of a problem for this.
Oh, but it's not staying around. It's being treated for Eradicator Epidemic Virus, assuming you're calling spells. But let's...
Can-
Oh, no!
A repeat!
Caught with 5 spells!